Good day and welcome back to the Vitality Project. I'm Dr. Bob. Really appreciate you joining me today. Thank you. In our previous exercise, just in our most recent post, we summarized the central aim of everything that we do here at your Vitality Project, namely how to help build stronger, more flexible skills of resilience in the face of stress so that we're not taken out by stress. And if you've been with me through the last several dozen posts and also the workshops, the last several workshops that I've presented, you by now know how crucial a role our emotions make in our being able to stay on track in our recovery from addiction of any kind. And so this idea of resilience in the face of stress has everything to do with our managing our emotional lives. In fact, I want to invite you to join me over the next several weeks as we examine what I introduced in our last session, specifically resilient experience skill training, or REST, R-E-S-T, REST for short. The goal of REST is to increase our peace of mind, our personal sense of fulfillment, and certainly our overall happiness. I hope that sounds as good to you as it does to me. For today, let's start very basically then, okay, by creating an emotional map. Some of you have been with me and you know how we do mind-body mapping, and we're back into that. If you're not familiar with this, please go back and review any number of our previous posts, video posts, as well as Facebook, paragraphs where I kind of break down what goes into mind-body mapping. And I'll say more about that in just a minute because I think it might serve you to review our archived materials, because I'm just going to keep on plugging ahead here. Okay, so let's start with an emotion map for right now. Take a piece of paper, draw an oval in the middle of it, and right in the middle, write down an emotion that you're finding especially challenging right now in your life. This could be fear or sadness or resentment or envy, you name it. The key is that you pick an emotion that's really bugging you. Next, after you've written that down, around the outside of the oval, write down the first half a dozen thoughts or so that well up inside of you in relation to this particular problem emotion. I'd like you then to analyze each thought to see if you can identify any requirements that may have been activated by it. This again is going to, if you're not familiar with the language, I encourage you to go back and access our archived resources, okay, in YouTube and in Facebook and on our site, because we have lots of descriptions of how it is that we have these inner requirements that we place on reality. In regards to this exercise, see if any requirements come up around this problematic emotion and the thoughts that spring out from it. So requirements, and while we're at it, any negative storylines, including depressor self-talk that you're aware of. Oftentimes in relationship to the depressor, the fixer will come in and want to fix things. And so make note of any of those fixer comments or self-talk as well. And then finally, make a quick note of how stressed you feel in your body and mind when you drop into this kind of reflection on the feeling and the thoughts around it. I just use a scale of 1 to 10. 1 means totally chill, and 10 represents being totally stressed out. And so just where are you on that scale? I want to recommend for any of you that have been with me, and if any of the language I've used here today feels a little bit rusty, to go back and review our archived materials and our posts and our videos, where we've gone in depth into these various, I think of them as cognitive components that relate very much to our emotional well-being. So let's see what you find in the exercise, and come back and join me again soon. Okay, thanks again for joining me today. Please stay safe, be well, and I will see you again soon. Take good care.